Hey, Cancer, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your September 2024 bonus reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Cancer, what is being illuminated on your path, on your soul's journey? Partially due to the upcoming eclipse energy that we have showing up in the month of September and October. But I do feel like you're walking away or moving on from something that has been emotionally challenging, okay? Emotionally challenging. So what's being illuminated, which eclipse season can certainly bring about, a deeper understanding of the why things may have occurred in the past, or how to fully heal and move on from them. Eclipse energy can be where things that may have been hidden or you didn't have access to, or maybe you didn't have the knowledge needed at that time, it can bring about major transformation and major, again, metamorphosis. So we'll see what is being illuminated and how it is leading towards a brand new beginning, a new chapter of your life. We'll see what initiative you can take to help you on this newfound path. We'll look at your values, any blocks that may be showing up, and we'll connect to an outcome. So bottom of the deck here, you actually have the witch, which is represented by Dorothy Gale. Now, when this witch energy shows up, it's actually card 25 in the major arcana. Now, most of you know that the major arcana only goes up to 21, but in this specific deck, the creator added on a couple of bonus major arcanas, which I absolutely love. And the witch is all about magic, right? Transformation, balance, and wisdom, right? Dorothy, she has everything she needs within her, and outside of her as well. She has the friends, the community, the support of, Glinda, the good witch, and, the Munchkin lands, as well as, her three trusty friends of the lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow. And I feel like you have resources that perhaps you haven't even tapped into that may be guiding you on this journey, Cancer. Some of you are very witchy. You may be diving into metaphysical studies as well. The witch can be about you embarking upon a very spiritual path moving forward. So don't doubt yourself, okay? Now, sometimes she does doubt her own powers, her own abilities. And I feel it's important now more than ever to not need validation or seek validation from others, okay? This is about you. This is about your skills, your talents, your gifts. And I certainly see here that you are embracing your own power. You're holding on to the ruby slippers here, and you're saying, okay, there's somewhere over the rainbow and I'm ready. And I feel like you absolutely are with this witch energy showing up. Okay. So let's dive into your reading. What is being illuminated for you at this time? We have the Four of Cups. This is tips discovery. Okay, when we have the Four of Cups showing up here, this is a massive turning point for you emotionally. Because a lot of times in the Four of Cups, we focus on the past. We can be a little bit stubborn or frustrated or even impatient within the emotional stagnation that is taking place in our lives, right? We tend to focus on past pain or hurt or what we don't have or what everybody else has. It can be a very comparative or judgy type of energy at times, self-judgment even. But when this Four of Cups shows up, this is a massive turning point and a change emotionally, where instead of focusing on the past, right, you're focusing on what's right in front of you. And that is the discovery here that is taking place. So some of you, what is being illuminated is, yes, you've gone through a situation that may have been difficult or challenging, but that doesn't have to define you. So it almost feels like you wake up one day and it doesn't feel as heavy, right? It doesn't feel as painful. It's almost as if you don't even think about that loss or, that heartache or that heartbreak or some sort of trauma that you've gone through. And it's not saying that it hasn't been easy, but it's saying that the emotional part of it that had held you attached to something of the past has been released. And it's like you wake up and you're like, wow, I feel free. I don't feel like I'm unscat or I don't feel tethered to this emotional baggage that I once was. And for some of you, it could be because you've already started this new chapter. And if you haven't, get ready, because you have this Ace of Pentacles showing up. This is the slippers. That's exactly what Dorothy is holding on to in her hand. You can't make it up. It's the same slippers there. And so I feel like this Ace of Pentacles is the start of a brand new life. This is a brand new journey, a brand new chapter that you are embarking upon. The Ace of Pentacles is a positive reward for all of your work. This could be a bonus. It could be an inheritance. This could be a new job. It could be a new home, right? It could be physical health, physical well-being. And I feel like you've earned this. You can see that on the ruby slippers, there are a couple of diamonds. How are diamonds formed? Under pressure, under darkness. So some of you have gone through a lot and you have earned your badge is what I'm getting, that badge of honor or some sort of, new life or new start. And this is showing up exactly in the new chapter section of your life. So Cancer, this could be a massive turning point for you emotionally that fulfills you in the material world, perhaps a new relationship. Okay. Or you finally being able to step into a new role that aligns with your energy, because you see here that she's holding the slippers. She's not wearing them with the witch. So some of you, you've outgrown a situation, but perhaps you weren't quite sure how to move forward on this path. Like, who am I without being a wife or a husband or, as this title or as this label? Who am I without some sort of emotional attachment to what I thought I was, but I no longer am? And the initiative that you are meant to take moving forward is the Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords is opening yourself up again after heartache or separation or betrayal, sorrow or grief. This is moving on from the Three of Swords, because you can see that, yes, this three, and it actually looks quite beautiful, actually. You see that behind it, it's almost as if those thorns and the metal around it, it's something that had cut quite deep. But you see this beautiful heart on top of it. So it's saying that even though there has been a closed off energy, that the heart can open up again. Yeah, it's about you not being closed off or unable to trust in the heart. And some of you, it's like you followed your heart in the past and it led you to disappointment. And now you've shut it down in some way, shape, or form, or you have in the past, and you've said, okay, heart, you've betrayed me. I listened to you, but you got me into trouble and I had to recoup, and I don't ever want to deal with that again. But Spirit is saying, whoa, wait a minute. Shutting down isn't the answer. Closing our hearts to love, to, our gifts, to, our truth in some way, shape, or form is not the answer. That's why you have this gift of starting a brand new life. Yes, what you've gone through was difficult, right? This is something that will change you and has changed you forever. But I see with this Ace of Pentacles, right, you have the silver slippers and you've had them the whole time, but now you're able to wear them and you're able to walk forward on this journey with more confidence and more wisdom than you had prior. So where have your values maybe changed? What are your values now moving forward here? We do have the Nine of Cups. you know how to be single, or you know how to do things independently now. Okay, this can be the energy of emotional fulfillment, whether you're in a relationship or not. Okay, Nine of Cups is the wizard's accolades. You know, he has come to this point in his journey, and his values are feeling like they're in alignment now with all of his hard work and what he's loved and what he's lost as well. So you know that there's life, you know, after death. You know that there's love after loss. But while you're going through it, it feels impossible, right? It feels like, you know, that's the last thing on your mind. And I feel like the values are saying, even though I've gone through heartache and heartbreak or disappointment or rejection or abandonment or whatever it is for you, Cancer, that you've gone through, the Nine of Cups is here to remind you that it's okay at times to feel a little bit restless. That's where self-reflection comes in and is needed, but don't sit in that energy. Don't sit in a dissatisfied job or a relationship when emotional fulfillment is available to you. It is out here. But sometimes we stay pent up in some sort of energy that's dissatisfying, right? And we could be enabling others even to not grow and evolve on their human experience or journey. It's almost as if we are denying ourselves or denying others the satisfaction of growth by maybe letting something go. And I feel like this Nine of Cups, yes, it may be a completion, right? A completion to an experience. It could be a new path that you're embarking on. This is a major turning point, but it does require you to disconnect from something that perhaps at one point it made you happy, but at the same time, it made you sad, right? Because that's what life is about. And now the Nine of Cups is showing up here saying, you're not going to settle anymore. You're never going to settle again for staying in the energy too long of that which brings dissatisfaction. Okay. And that's what your new belief is. And when the Nine of Cups shows up, this is wishes granted. This is emotional fulfillment. It's satisfactory. It's serenity, right? As the wizard's accolades represent, you know, he feels good. He feels satisfied with, you know, what he's achieved emotionally, even if it hurt, even if it's caused, you know, pain at times. But I feel like you've shifted your values and your beliefs. And even though you may have closed yourself off, I feel like what is being illuminated is there's a whole, again, life out there that can be emotionally fulfilling and rewarding. And that pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. We don't have to sit in that. And again, that's part of the values or beliefs that you've upgraded or uprooted even. And you're now focusing on, I'm getting childhood. Some of you may have been focused on, you know, pain even from childhood or some childhood wounding. It could be attachment styles that you've learned very early on. And you have the Six of Cups showing up as a block. Now, when the Six of Cups shows up as a block, this is about unhealthy past attachments. So we see a little theme here, don't we? Sometimes this can be romanticizing the past. It can be talking things up, and maybe they weren't really up, saying, well, maybe I should go back to that past situation because it wasn't as bad as maybe I thought it was. Don't do that, right? I don't feel like you're gonna, but sometimes you get up in your head about it and you're not quite sure what is the reality, what's the illusion. And I feel like that's the pain talking, but we have a brand new start, a brand new beginning. And the Six of Cups showing up as, you know, a challenge or a block can also be, you know, difficulties in childhood, that childhood wounding that may affect relationships, may affect your self-worth. It could be needing external validation. And I see that with the Witch. Sometimes the Witch self-doubts her own magic, right? Sometimes the Witch here is needing that validation from others, maybe in her career. And there's nothing wrong with getting validation for the accolades, right? For the hard work that you've put into things. But when it becomes an unhealthy attachment, okay, when it becomes unhealthy because it becomes anxious attachment or avoidant attachment, those are things that you want to dive into. And I see here that you have everything you need to embark upon this journey on the yellow brick road. And when you do come up to that crossroads, you have the resources within you. Even if it feels like you don't have the help next to you externally, like Dorothy does, remember, those are aspects and characteristics as well of her own self, right? It's her heart, it's her courage, it's her strength, and her wisdom and her logic. And I feel like you have the resources that you need to make healthy choices and decisions, Cancer, when it comes to all areas of your life. So how do we flip this back into the upright? Well, that's exactly how, is we examine where we've been, but we also know that we don't have to sit in that old story, because this is a brand new chapter. When you have that Ace of Pentacles, this is you starting a new life. And who you were in the past is not who you are today. That scared or wounded little girl or little boy, that rejected, or, the part of you that felt unimportant, or you didn't feel seen, or you didn't feel heard, all of those experiences that you've gone through do not determine who you are right now. And I want you to remember that here, because this can be kindness, this can be compassion and friendship. This is soulmate energy here. And it doesn't have to be romantic, right? It can be, but I feel like you are preparing for union in some way, shape, or form with the lobster quadrille here. And they kind of look like little, lobsters, crabs, same thing. They're not, of course, but I feel like this is a sign for you saying there may be a soulmate that you have partnered up with that may have been very difficult or challenging, but it was part of your growth. And for those of you where there's been some pain here, maybe this is healing and mending so the two of you can come together in some way, shape, or form. I'm also getting sibling. Some of you, this has to do with a sibling. I feel like there could be a joke about turtles. Okay, turtles, take that as it resonates. Immediately, I'm seeing the turtles here. Or maybe Finding Nemo, the scene with the turtles is significant. So again, take that as it resonates, Cancer. So what's the outcome? The outcome is the Seven of Cups. The outcome is the Gnome King's ornaments here. And when the Seven of Cups comes in, this is possibilities. Possibilities on your path here, opening up to infinite abundance. But sometimes we feel overwhelmed because the Seven of Cups can bring about a scattered energy. And I see a lot of, cups here for you. We have the Nine of Cups, we have the Four of Cups, we have the Six of Cups. And I feel like you are, emotional based. You are a water sign. You have a lot of this element, but what you need to do. And I feel like you're making a choice. You're making a choice to open your heart, to validate your own self, right? Tell yourself that you're worthy, that you're lovable, that you have what it takes to come up to any, crossroads in your life and courageously move forward. And when the Seven of Cups shows up, I feel like you're grounded. Okay, I feel like there's clarity coming in here. And some of you, there was an illusion. There was illusion that may have been driven by the ego, maybe the wounded inner child ego, right? It could have been you were dealing with maybe someone who had hurt you because their ego was driven by, power or maybe even materialism. And it may have clouded the energy between the both of you. But what I see here is a choice being made that feels a lot healthier than the past. And I'm actually seeing here the golden apple. Out of all of the ornaments that are showing up on the table, I see the golden apple, and the apple is teachability, right? The apple, I mean, there's so many references to the apple, like Adam and Eve. It can be, Snow White biting into the apple. There's so many references. So of course, take it as it resonates. But what I'm getting is this golden apple does represent wisdom. And when I always say, when you know better, you do better. And there's something here about knowing better. And emotionally, you've gained a level of intelligence that you didn't have before. Right? How would you have it if you hadn't gone through it? It's not just snap of a fingers, woof, we're emotionally intelligent. No, right? It's experience that adds wisdom to our palette. So let's clarify. I want to take a tiny peek. We're not going to spend a lot of time, but I just want to see what is so heavy here that has been such a difficult time letting go of with the Four of Cups and the Three of Swords. Spirit, okay, the mind. Ooh, the mind is such a doozy, isn't it? The mind can be used to build and create or destroy. And I feel for some of you, this has to do with someone's words. When we start to hear things over and over, we start to believe in them. So if we grow up in an environment where someone says, Cancer, you're too skinny, you're too skinny, you're too skinny. You hear that over and over, or you're too fat, or you're not pretty, or you're dumb, right? All of those negative connotations, we don't even know, right? We don't even know that as, some sort of truth, but we tack it on like it's our truth because that's what we hear over and over and over. It's like it's drilled into our head. And I feel like there was something in the past that was repetitive. It was drilled into your head over and over and over to the point where you couldn't even get it out of your head. It felt like it was deep, buried deep into your subconscious, where maybe you weren't even aware that that was blocking you, or, entering into some sort of relationship or dynamic in your career, or it may have even caused some sort of dis-ease within your health, also known as disease, right? So I feel like the Eight of Swords showing up in the past is feeling trapped, feeling restricted, helpless, hopeless. It can be victim, right? Being a victim or having that victim mentality. You may have even questioned your own potential, but what is required of the Eight of Swords? Bravery, strength, courage, intellect, right? All of the characteristics that each of Dorothy's companions hold, archetypes within her hold, right? The lion, the courage, the heart of the Tin Man, and the brains of the Scarecrow. Did I say that backwards? Okay, so I feel like you are very, very powerful. Don't question it, Cancer. Don't question your worth, your ability, your skills. You don't need someone else's approval. And if there is a small voice in your head that you can't shut up, right? That's what we need to program and turn around. And I feel like that's part of it here with this Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords can certainly be anxiety or a mind block. Some of you felt tied down, maybe even by legal requirements, or this could be feeling handicapped in some way, shape, or form, maybe by health issues, even mental health. Yeah, mental health may have been an issue. And I feel like that's what has held you back in the past, maybe even some sort of depression or anxiety. And I feel like there's a turning point when it does come to your emotional and mental health. So let's take a look at this new life, this new beginning, because the Ace of Pentacles is big here. It really is. This Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, double ace. This is your truth. All of this fluff in the past, that was an illusion. That was an illusion. And this is not where your self-worth lies. Okay. Whatever this Eight of Swords is, whatever pain of the Three of Swords, Eight of Swords that you felt trapped in, stuck in, That was merely an illusion. And this is what the truth is. The truth is that you are worthy of starting this new life, that you are worthy of, love and abundance and new beginnings and this gift, because aces are gifts and you have two of them showing up right here for you. That's what this new chapter is about, is you receiving the gift. Okay, initiative, letting go of the pain, letting go of the heartache, doing what you need to do, seeking help. Maybe it is getting into some sort of health routine, exercise routine. Perhaps it's journaling. It could be, taking on a spiritual practice. Whatever this may be for you. For some of you, maybe it has been medicine of some sort, or herbs or supplements. Whatever you need to do to get up out of this energy, you do it, because your life depends on it here, Cancer. And what are the values here? 9 of Cups is that you're independent, not codependent. You heard me right. Some of you, codependence was a big thing. You may have been very codependent in this relationship. And when one is codependent, boy, oh boy, is it hard to break out of. But once you do, you're unstoppable. And the 9 of Cups here leads to a lot more emotional fulfillment, meaning that you are satiated. You are okay, whether you are alone or, or you're partnered up. It means that you have this independence. Let's look here. 9 of Cups, Spirit, wish fulfillment. What do we have for Cancer? The Queen of Cups. Beautiful. Beautiful. There is the energy here of emotional intelligence. This is someone who fosters genuine connections. Not connections that are based on bondage, on control, on power, on codependent dynamics, toxicity, emotional inconsistency. When this Queen of Cups shows up, you're birthing a new era into your life, right? You see her pregnant belly there is blossoming with potential. And I feel this Queen of Cups, which is you. This is you being compassionate, nurturing, extremely intuitive. You're that witch energy. I love this for you. So time to break out those witchy vibes, play some Stevie Nicks on the radio, clean your house, sage your home, get out your crystals, do your thing, Cancer, because whatever is entering into your world because you yourself have ascended is quite beautiful. Like I said here, you're making some healthy choices moving forward. And this has to do with healthier choices in where you extend your energy. Let's take a look at the 7 of Cups. Why do we have the 7 of Cups here for Cancer? The Hierophant. This is, what did I just say? Where you extend your energy. This is where you commit your energy. Some of you are committing to a spiritual practice, maybe even yoga, meditation. When the Hierophant shows up, this is your higher power. This is your teacher, your mentor. This could be traditions that you are breaking free from, or it could be cycles that you've learned from society or from childhood that may not work for you, but that's how you were taught, that you needed to survive, so you had to be independent. Some of you are only children, or some of you are the eldest child and you had to take care of everyone. Some of you may have left the home early. Some of you may have come from a very religious upbringing or background. Whatever your story is, it's going to be different for each and every one of you. We all have one thing in common. That is connecting to a higher power, right? And it's time to shed limiting beliefs. It's time to shed any beliefs that hold you back from your soul's ascension. And I feel like that's what you've been working on, because the beliefs have kept you small. The beliefs have had you questioning your potential, your worth, your magic. No more. No more questioning here, Cancer. You are powerful beyond measure. And when you have Dorothy showing up, right, the witch, you have this magic all along, right? You had that magic all along within you. Even though sometimes we have to experience the journey, right? We have to experience the journey to really see what's going on in here, because that's part of it. And the Hierophant could be new engagements, new, it could be marriage. It could be a higher power with yourself. It could be you embarking upon spiritual gifts that, really change your life for the better. I mean, all spiritual gifts change our life for the better, but there's something that's actually increasing here for you, a gift that is opening up due to what you've experienced. Yeah, it's helping you become more aware. And I'm not talking like a hyper focused sense of awareness of fight or flight and being on edge every second, although some of you, that's where you were. But it's because of some sort of trauma or pain that actually allows you to open up and maybe have and share the gift of compassion. And maybe for you to be able to tap into people who've crossed over, even mediumship abilities. This could be clairvoyance. Because the eyes are closed here as well and the hands are up, I feel like you're finding more tranquility and more peace in your world, Cancer. So let's get a final message from your guides, your angels, your spiritual team. What do we have, please, for Cancer? We have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Right? Some of you didn't receive some sort of emotional love or connection. That's what we see with that Queen of Cups. Or perhaps there was an important divine feminine who is no longer in your life, or there's been struggle or challenge with the divine mother. How can you mother yourself? And that's what your guides are asking you at this time. What else do we have here for Cancer? They're saying go one more. All right. We have trust your path. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? What would you do? Because support is here. It has always been here. That's what higher power is. That's what the Hierophant is. And I feel like you see that now. You see that with the Four of Cups. And then we have the crumbling. This is, what are you clinging to? So again, another card of clinging to old beliefs, patterns, old fears, because once we let go, once we destroy old structures, the new beginning, the new structure can be built. And for some of you, there could be a sudden change that shows up. Even though I don't see the tower here, the crumbling, the tower may have already occurred. It looks like for some of you it has, right? The tower has already occurred. But what is being rebuilt in place of something is much more solid and brings much more emotional fulfillment than maybe anything in the past did. It's strengthened you. Even if this is a loss or a death of some sort, I feel like there's a spiritual connection that you didn't have prior to that loss that you now do. Cancer, deep reading, intense. I hope this resonates with you. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. It supports the channel, which I greatly appreciate. Please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell if you haven't already. And thank you so very much for tuning in today, Cancer. Lots of love.